I'm your host, Javier Beltran, and we are on the 42.0 CGL Talk radio show. I'm your host, Javier Beltran, along with my co-host,
James Spector,
and Benjamin Perlberg.
And today we're going to be talking about the NBA MVP and the NFL MVPs. So now we're going to start with the NBA MVPs. My personal pick is Giannis Antetokounmpo, a former two-time MVP and NBA champion and Defensive Player of the Year. What are your guys' takes on that?
I think Luka Doncic should get the MVP this year. He's gonna play very good. He puts the Mavericks on his back year after year, and he's just gonna help that team get most of their wins this season.
I think Joel Embiid's finally going to have his year, along with James Harden for the whole season. I think James Harden can have a slight bounce back year, maybe leading them to a top 2 or 3 seed again, and hopefully they don't lose in the second round this time because that would make everyone regret their picks for MVP. But I think Joel Embiid can have a dominant performance, almost like he did last year, and I think he can beat out Jokic finally.
I can definitely understand why you guys can say each other's picks. I personally think you guys are wrong, but again, that's just an opinion. But yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on possibly them winning the championship? Each team winning the championship. I personally think that the Bucks with the MVP could win the championship. However, what are your thoughts on anyone else possibly winning the championship?
I think if the Mavericks get a solid role player to help Luka, help that team win, then I think the Mavericks have a very good chance of winning the championship.
Yeah.
I think
How about you?
Even if Joel Embiid wins MVP, I don't think they're going to win the championship. I think the Warriors are actually going to run it back. Again, with the same roster that they have, I think Andrew Wiggins is going to be on the come up again. Steph Curry is going to play the same, and Klay Thompson finally being back for a whole season will give them their opportunity that they need.
Can definitely see that coming forward. Now we're going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to go to the NFL. My personal take for the MVP is going to be a former MVP himself, Patrick Mahomes. I feel like even though he doesn't have Tyreek Hill, I feel like he can still bounce back and show everyone why he is the man and still the best quarterback in football. What about you?
I'm Kyler Murray. With D-Hop being out, he's really going to have to find some other receivers. But I think he'll still get it because he has so much talent. He can run the ball and he can throw the ball very accurately and very far.
I think a sleeper pick in Russell Wilson could be possible this year. I know he's taken possibly a dip in his wide receiving core, but I think the backfield that he has this year is going to help him in the passing game because the run will open up the pass, and the play action is going to be more effective with their 2 running back sets possibly. And also, Cortland Sutton's better than people think. Even with Tim Patrick going down, Cortland Sutton could have easily a 1,000-yard season.
I can definitely see both of those. And if you do want to call, the number is 215-215-JOHN. Again, that's 215-215-JOHN. Now we're going to switch it over. Now we're going to switch it over to NFL Super Bowl contenders. I personally have the Kansas City Chiefs coming out on top as the MVP of the league. Patrick Mahomes will lead the Kansas City Chiefs. We are getting a caller. Hello?
Hi.
Who is speaking?
Hey, this is Justin, big fan of the show. Thank you for having me on. I actually have a question. I heard you guys talking before about NBA MVP. I heard
Yes.
you guys talk about 2 big names, Joel Embiid and Giannis Antetokounmpo, but I was wondering if you had any lesser known guys, some dark horses that you think might have a better shot at winning MVP.
It's a really good question. That's a really good question. Now, guys, switching topics back over, who do you have as a dark horse for the MVP? I think a dark horse for the MVP definitely could be like Damian Lillard. I think he's an elite 2-way point guard. I feel like he's a good shooter. He can drive. I think he's an underrated playmaker, and I think he can definitely, be an elite scorer for the Blazers. Or I've heard some trade talks going around. I don't know if he's going to get traded before the season starts. But I can definitely see him being an elite scorer and possibly coming out with the MVP.
I think a real sleeper pick could even possibly be Bradley Beal. Coming off this new contract, he might feel some new motivation for some reason. And also, I think that Wizards team, although they're young, I think they're still developing a little bit. And if they make the playoffs or even possibly get like a top 5 seed, I think that would definitely put his name in contention.
I agree with you, Hobby. I think Dame Lillard could definitely win the MVP. He's always underrated, and he helps his team win every single year.
And that'll be all for today. I'm your host, Javier Beltran, along with my co-host,
James Spector.
Benjamin Perlberg.
And today's broadcast was brought to you by Prime Sports Energy Drink, hosted by the two famous celebrities, KSI and Logan Paul. Make sure to drink Prime, and you'll be fine.